Good morning, Aubrey. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I just got a new mug.
Oh, world's okayest mom. You guys, this is so funny. That is grammatically not correct. That's why it's so funny, because we are language experts, and to have bad grammar on our mugs is very funny.
And then because everyone gets the world's best mom, I actually bought myself this. I was like, this is much more appropriate. That would be mean if someone else bought it for me, but I can own that.
That is so awesome.
Okay, mom.
Because, yeah, I think as humans, we all put so much pressure on ourselves to be perfect at everything, and we cannot. So guys, it's like, I don't want you to watch this video and think, okay, I need to talk exactly like them. They are so amazing with their sample answers. Why don't I sound like them? I'm horrible, right? Because students can get quite depressed when they try and compare themselves to a native speaker. Guys, like, your goal isn't to be perfect. Your goal is to get a band 7, to get a band 8, perhaps. And that's what these videos are for, you guys, to tell you very specific things you can change right now to improve your IELTS speaking score. So we have been doing a lot of videos in this series. What are some of the coolest videos in this series, this sample speaking answer series we've done?
Yes, we've done so we started with part 1, more personal questions. Then we did some part 2 answers, describing a cafe, describing a successful person. But I love what you're pointing out there, Jessica, because for all of these, we don't expect you to, of course, don't memorize them. Don't expect to be at that level, but we're giving you a specific thing to pull out that we did well, that you can do in your answer to raise a specific score. So maybe it's pronunciation, maybe it's fluency, maybe it's vocabulary, to hone in on one skill to work on so that you can get the 7 or higher you need. That's
exactly,
the goal.
Guys. So if you have not seen the other videos in this series, you have to go back and watch these videos. So we are in speaking part 3 today. And what are we talking about, Aubrey? One of our favorite topics.
I know, right? Food. So remember, we have told you guys that your Part 3 questions will be related to your Part 2 question, your Part 2 answer. So one of our Part 2 was describing a new food you have tried. So these would be the Part 3 questions that would follow that would be related. So we want you to keep that in mind. That will really help open your brain box, get that schema working so that you know a little bit what to look forward to, what to
exactly
expect.
And guys, remember, you can go to allearsenglish.com/myscore to get your free estimated IELTS band score. Just take a little quiz, get some free information and resources just for your level. Go to allearsenglish.com/myscore. So Aubrey is going to be answering the questions today, and I, with my 14 years of exam experience, will give her some feedback and give you guys a clue on what you should learn from her answers. So, are you ready, Aubrey?
Yes, I am ready.
All right. What role does food play in a culture?
Oh, it's huge. If I think about culture, I think about holidays and celebrations mostly, and they all revolve around food for me. So Christmas, for example, there are specific things I look forward to eating. Ham and cheesy potatoes and chocolates and candy canes. And then Easter should maybe be more religious for me, but it's kind of not. It revolves a lot around food again. And we get together with family and we have a big to-do, and everyone brings their specialty, something they cook really well.
Is food an important part of holidays in your country?
Yes, right? That's like I was saying, it's vital. If there weren't food, why would we even be there? I think it depends on the person, because for some holidays, it is more religious and the food isn't quite as important. But for me and my family, where we grew up, it is all about the food.
Are there adequate services for those suffering from malnutrition where you live?
I don't think the answer to that can ever be yes, because if anyone anywhere is living with malnutrition, then there aren't enough services. So I know there are a lot of charities who provide meals to the homeless and ship meals to countries where there are people who are starving. But if there's even one child who doesn't have enough to eat, then there are not enough charities. There are not enough people giving to that need.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test. Okay, guys. So what we can learn from Aubrey's answers there is how to increase your fluency and coherence score. There's a few different things I want you to notice about her answers that you need to practice doing in your own part 3 answers, guys. So first is the linking phrases that she used. We had revolve around, right? Instead of like about, like it revolves around the food. It means everything is about this thing, this food. We heard, for example, we heard in the second answer, you introduced it by saying, like I was saying. Now, here's a mistake that a lot of students make. The examiner has specific questions to answer, and I might ask you a question that you feel like you already answered. Right? Like the holidays thing, because you talked about holidays in the first question. And then in the next question, it was also about holidays. So you didn't repeat yourself. This is what increases that fluency score, guys. Don't repeat yourself in any answer. All right? So instead, you say, like I was saying, and maybe summarize in one sentence and then move on, just like Aubrey did. Add new information. That increases the fluency and coherence score, guys. So interesting phrases to introduce your answers and join your ideas and not repeating ideas. Here's the third thing Aubrey did, especially in that first answer, that was so great for fluency and coherence. You got super specific. So it's a very strong answer. It was a very detailed answer, and that increases the fluency score, guys. Listen to the specific holidays she mentioned, these specific types of foods, right? And just as a bonus, like, yeah, that's great for fluency and coherence, definitely 7 or higher, but it's also stupendous for vocabulary because we get all that specific vocabulary in there. So for all of those reasons, guys, that would be a very high scoring test if Aubrey were going to take it and say those words. So guys, definitely listen to those answers a couple times. You can even practice your pronunciation by mimicking out loud, and that will help you remember some of these skills.
It's so interesting once you start talking about food. This has happened to me a few times when I'm speaking French to someone, that all of a sudden I want to talk about foods that we eat in my culture or my country, and I realize, oh, I don't know how to say any of these in French. I don't know the names in French. There's a good chance you'll be asked about food, holidays. You need these specific foods. You need to know how to say them in English, how to describe them.
I have heard this exact thing stop so many students on the test. Like, they sound so fluent until they get to this very culture specific thing like food, right? And then they don't know how to say these traditional dishes in English. So guys, maybe there's not an English name for what you're describing. In that case, you need to know the ingredients in English so you can paraphrase, so you can describe it and still get that vocabulary score. That's a really good point. So look up some of your favorite dishes that are traditional where you live and read the recipes in English, right? Learn what we call it and also learn the English names for those ingredients. That will definitely help you, not just in part 3 like we're doing today, but also speaking part 1. So guys, if you feel like you learned a lot from this video, remember to hit like and subscribe so you never miss a lesson. And we will see you in the next video.
Bonus tip, get a 7 or higher with the All Ears English app featuring real-time transcripts and vocabulary practice that will push your score higher. Plus, fun video lessons with Lindsay, Michelle, and Jessica. Download the app today at allearsenglish.com/app.